Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today is just going to be a little bit of a glimpse into my life. So currently, I still have a day work to go to, so after I get off my job of a little over 10 hours a day, this is what I do. I drive directly to the reptile house before I even get to go home, and I start my day here. Some days, of course, are longer than others. And this is going to be a little bit of a glimpse into kind of how it starts and some of the things that we do. Yes, frequently I have a big-ass soda. Why? Because I need the energy, and that's how I got a beer belly from drinking way too much soda. But the day kind of starts with just a nice, pretty drive home. Walk into the reptile house, which you really can't see. There's a beautiful view off the landing. So every day I take a moment and occasionally appreciate a little bit of that. And just, honestly, I think back to how lucky I am to be able to do some of what I'm doing. And then we come on inside, and this house is specifically just for my animals, so it looks kind of crazy because we're always doing some kind of project in here. And usually the first thing I do is we're now transitioning having animals upstairs and not just downstairs. So I have to come and check on the one we've already moved, which is my female carpet python after she laid eggs. Today she was using some of the logs we put in there to do a little bit of basking, which is kind of cool. And she frequently soaks, and her water does go out of there pretty quick, so it's pretty frequent that I have to refill and change her water. So this is a pretty common occurrence. And she's still new in that cage. I don't quite trust her there. If she thinks I'm going to pull her out of those trees, she'd probably be willing to pop me one, which wouldn't be much fun. I then come into the kitchen way nicer than the one I have at home that only gets used to fill reptile water dishes. Or when people do come stay there. And about once a year I use it for my own family. But typically this is just for the animals and for our guests. Which, by the way, would be people on Patreon who do get to come stay here and spend a weekend in the reptile house as part of their plan. This is where they actually stay, and we're kind of setting this part up for that. That's why there's things like an arcade and stuff like that for entertainment in there. And then we thought having some animals up here would be pretty fun too, so some of those specialized ones are going to be moving. And I just need the room. So now that we're going to finish this up, what we kind of do next is we're going to go downstairs, because downstairs is really where all the animals are kept for the most part, and that includes our entire ball python collection, our display room, which includes all of our venomous snakes, rattlesnakes, gaboon viper, things of that nature, the dwarf caiman. All of that lives in that basement area, and this is really kind of what I do every day. Of course, Tuesdays we film, Thursdays we feed, so those 2 days are longer than that. But every other day, I have to come here and I have to spend some time doing a little bit of work. And we just kind of wanted to share a little bit and a glimpse of what that experience is. So as you grow your own reptile business and you're going to join us or get to our size and you'll kind of see what we do, you'll be joining in this type of life. And now, without further ado, turn it over to myself. And welcome to my day. I know it's a little hard to hear me. This filter's noisy. We'll unplug that just so you can kind of hear what's going on. So this is typical, man. I've been working 10 hours with about an hour total commute time, well, about 40 minutes total commute time, and about another 35-40 minutes of at work time that's not really at work because I have to change. So, you've already given 11 and a half, 12 hours of your day, then you have to come back here and work this. Truth be told, guys, I wouldn't have any other way. So as you kind of already saw how I start my day, I then come in this room. Sorry, it's a little dark. We had a power outage, and every single light fried, I think. I haven't tried to get them to come back on. We might have to replace those. Part of it is, too, when you have this much stuff, you have a little bit of equipment failure. Kind of take a quick look over our venomous room, see what we need to be doing over the next few days. I usually schedule 1 day a week to deal with all these. I don't deal with them piecemeal. I then like to come over here, take a look at my incubator, make sure the temps are good, that our house is holding up all right. So that bottom one, that is actually those cages on the Neotichet over there. This top one is the temp of my incubator. It's 88.2. It's locked into no more than 14% heat. We want to keep it between 88 and 90. It usually sets right around 89. Truth be told, magic of editing, I might have already peaked in here. That's why it's a little bit cooler than normal. I'll show you. I then typically kind of check, see how it's going on. I don't always open it. Right now I have a clutch getting close, so I wanted to check on that clutch. We're about 5 days away. As you can see, we're starting to dimple in just fine. These look great. So these are going to be our first eggs to hatch. You'll notice a little funky funk there. That was actually because one egg had a minor little rip when we set it up, and that's how it's sealed. So everything's looking pretty good there. Hopefully we get all 6 of them hatch. You can also feel on these shells, if you're ever doing this, something I like to do, they get kind of just the feel changes. A little bit soft, a little bit easier. Now so the baby can cut through pretty easy. So we'll put these back in to continue cooking. And I anticipate by the time you see this video, you may have already seen what's in these eggs. Put those guys back in. Also, as we take stock of how full our incubator is, thank God we have another one on the way, is all I can say. Take a quick peek at these guys, which is our Massasauga, and all our Massasauga. And also always take a little peek and see how my banded rock is doing. Make sure it's in there. It likes to be right behind there. Since these are new cages, they do get checked quite a bit just to make sure I'm still working on them. Kind of have a little once over there when you can see it. And then I'm kind of done in this room for the day. Give my crock back his filter. That, by the way, is Sir Chomsalot, who just had a filter cleaned 2 days ago. And a quick grab and health inspection. He is doing wonderful. He's grown quite a bit since you last seen him. Well, come on, follow me in here, because this is where a whole lot of work takes place. So the next stop is in here. Again, starts by turning on lights. There's a venomous snake in here as well. It's hiding underneath there. It's always hiding underneath there. Another banded rock, and we're actually watching for somebody. I come over here, flip this on, take a look, and just see how my Rhino Viper is doing. Well, it's still in here. It's going to move out of there pretty soon. Go ahead and flip the lights on in the baby room so everything is lit up, ready for me to work. Then, typically what I'll do on today is a Tuesday. So today is always the day we film. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, pretty similar days in my world, right? So what I'll have on Tuesdays and Wednesdays is I will typically go through, I will water certain things, I will clean certain things. This time of year, I'm also checking for eggs. So like we checked this female, she has not laid yet. She'll probably be our next one to go. Let's take a peek at her. As you can see, a little bit of poop in there. That's okay. I don't like to mess when they're about to lay. As soon as she lays, she'll get a brand new fresh tub. And I expect that to be, honestly, I expect it to be today. So that's going to come pretty soon. I then will check any of them that I've marked with ovulation to see if they've shed. I've actually already done that today, so we won't pull through all of them. And that's just to see if I need to put a date on them like I have on these. I also check all the ones that are got clips on there for breeding. For me, this means that there's a male in the tub. That's what that clip in the middle means. And see what we got, kind of like right here, where we have a male trying to press up in there. So hopefully he'll get that taken care of. Then we'll clean out the mess they made because somebody shed in there and took a crap in the back. Pretty par for the course. So I check all that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Another thing I like to do is go through my feed sheets on all of my breeding females and kind of just look to see who's eating, who's not eating. And then if I have a snake that's not eating, like, let's see if this one ate last week. So this one actually did not eat last week. That was the first week it missed. I'll go through these every year, pull them out. Oh, come here, girly. And just kind of start to check for signs of ovulation. So what we're going to look for on these. So we can start to monitor who's ovulating, who's not. And as you can see on that one, that's actually a really good sign. You may not be able to see it so well on camera, but you can see it stick through here. Yeah, I wouldn't call that an ovulation yet, but this snake does appear to be building towards ovulation. So it might be one of our next to ovulate, which is awesome. That'll make some inchy clown stuff. So, what? Good news. I didn't pre-screen that one. It sounds like I did, but I promise you I didn't. So I kind of do that with every single female that we're pairing at least once a week just to check on their status. I usually do it twice a week, if I'm being honest. So I go through and I check that. Another day I'll come through here and we have this fancy schmancy hose over here. I mean, obviously if you're a 90s kid, you got to keep your hose close. So I've got this thing here, and this is designed. It's an expandable hose. We do blow one of these out every now and then, which is fine. We just replace this. Why you always take pressure on these. Never leave this on in your room. And about once a week at least, if not twice a week. Usually it's twice a week. Usually do it on a feed day, and we do it again during the week. Do it for my babies multiple times. I'll kind of go through and just be like, oh, does that snake need water? That one doesn't. And go through and just check waters. It's like that one's full. Say it needed some. We can easily just spray some water in there. Or we can dump the cup. You know, we'll go and dump you. You got too many floaties in there. Sometimes these look worse than they are because you'll get some coconut down in there. But it looks like it's in the bowl, but it's not. So, you know, freshen up water dishes, spot clean some things, do whatever. You know, sometimes we do get a little behind on some of that just due to time. and then I have to take a day and just catch up like a madman, which usually happens when there's another project going on, like moving day where we moved a shit ton of snakes that we have to cram in there. Hatching days where I'm going to be hatching babies soon. So that is something I go through every day. And honestly, if I don't have eggs to pull or eggs to hatch, guys, that's kind of a day. This isn't rocket science. Some other things I do during the week, I guess I can kind of give you my week schedule. Take pressure off that hose before I forget. So typically a week starts with me. We'll start with Tuesday because that's what day it is today. Kurt comes up here and we film. He's a guy running the camera right now. Wednesday, I'm going to go through and do what I'm doing right now a lot of times. Do a lot of spot cleaning, do a lot of watering, check to see who's ovulated, mark my tubs, make sure we're good on that. Thursday is going to be feed night. So Wednesday I'll also pull my males if I remember, so I don't get to do it till Thursday. Pull them out, put them back in their own cage as part of watering the spot cleaning, how we kind of go through everything. Thursday, Kurt comes up, sometimes Caleb comes up, it just depends. That's feed night, and we feed everything. Everybody gets fed. One night, one shot. As this expands, and we have more babies down the road, when we're full capacity in, 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, I don't know how long it'll take. That might tune into 2 days just because of the vast amount of animals that we'll have to deal with a small number of people. We'll do that. And then on Friday, I kind of let everybody be. I'll still stop in, I'll check for eggs, I'll check those kind of things. Don't really do a lot with the animals themselves on Friday. That's because I want them to digest their meal and have a day off. Saturday, I come back here on Saturday. Saturday is Move Males Day. So typically if I've taken a male out, something like this would happen. And then I would know the male was pulled or is out of here. Next should go to the next one, and then we put the male in, we do that. So we kind of track where they're going. So males get paired up on Sundays, where they've had a day to digest, a day to rest. Females got a day off. They're back in there Monday doing their job, hopefully. And sometimes we pull males out of rotation. Again, I check their feeds, see how they're doing. I've got one male specifically who I have to rotate a couple weeks off, a couple weeks on, just so he'll get enough meals in him to maintain some strength. So we do that. That was, what day was that? That was
on Saturday.
That was on Saturday. Yes, because Friday to Saturday. So then Sunday, what do I do Sunday? I'm coming over here, checking for eggs, kind of what you saw today. We're going to check. It's a good day to spot clean male tubs because the males aren't in there. Do some watering on them. Just kind of overall check everything. Tuesday, we're back to film day. So as you can see, it's just a wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat.
What do you do on Monday?
Oh, Monday's also my day that I don't have to work my main job right now. So Monday's also my shipping day. As soon as my main job is done, which is planned for the end of June 2023, so a little over a year from now, we'll begin shipping on Mondays and Tuesdays. And Wednesdays, we'll never ship on Thursday and Friday, but we'll be able to open up some more shipping days. Stop that! We have a probe, it gets a little weird every now and then. It'll fix itself. There's just a little bit of moisture issue. So we'll be able to open up more shipping days. So Monday is my shipping day. What else do I do on Monday? Is that it? Is that what you were getting at? Yeah. So, and that's also my day to do my normal errands. Because remember, I still got a life to live. And my typical life is get home from work. So it's 6:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m. Come here. Thursdays, I'll be here till, 11:30 a lot of times. And that's if we're really going. If we feed on Friday, like we do sometimes, we BS a little more, hang out. Usually it's like 1 a.m. I missed that, but, I've got to have some time. Tuesdays, film days, it's not quite as late. Maybe like 9 o'clock a lot of times, 9:30. The other days I get to put about 2-3 hours in here. And then on weekends I can do a lot more cleaning and watering and spot stuff. So Monday, again, a lot of shipping, a lot of ovulation checking, a lot of spot cleaning. So I usually have some time on Mondays. So that is kind of what a day in my life is like right now. And I'll be blunt. For those of you who are doing your thing the same way I am, going the same way we did, hopefully you have a better plan laid out than we started with. This right here, I would say, is about the capacity I can handle with my current situation. Now, whenever I also work another side gig that I'm going into my job for more flexibility when I leave here for stability. So I have to squeeze that in too when I can, which doesn't get a lot of hours every week because I can't make hours out of thin air. And this becomes a priority. So I cannot handle more than what we are going to produce this coming year and keep up. So that is one of the reasons why we are leaving our day job to focus on this, to allow me the flexibility to handle a whole lot more and do a whole lot more. So that is coming. So this is about it for capacity, y'all, for basically one person. And the snake show, other than feed night and film night, is one person. That being said, I don't have to deal with the food portion. So if I had to deal with rats on top of it, they take pretty much as long or maybe a little longer than the snakes do. And that's where Kurt comes in. That's what he handles all the time. So that's a big help. So Kurt, any questions about what my day is like?
So you said this is how much you can handle.
Mm-hmm.
How many snakes is that?
Okay, that's a good question. So this wall here is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 tubs. There's 20 more. That's 80 tubs. Behind you is another 30 tubs. That's 110 tubs. And then, of course, you've got these over here, which is going to be 10, 20, 30. So that's 140 tubs. And then I've got these back here that are here all the time, which is ranges and how many are in there. But we have, we'll call it 100, what did I say, 150 tubs for adults. Then, of course, I've got everything in the display room. So there's probably about 100, 165 animals in here. I'll move back over so you have to try to walk backwards. Plus the baby room, which is going to swell, right? So it's not uncommon right now for us to be like around 250 animals. And we're going to grow. I can handle more than that. But what's going to happen is, as we go into this year, if we have the number of clutches we anticipate being an increase from last year, our number of babies is going to increase from last year, putting larger size and more pressure on that. So you have to be able to handle what you can handle at max capacity, which would probably be, well, that baby room, those can hold 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I actually have 3 of those, and I have 2 in there right now. So 3 times 13 is 99, I do believe, right? 13 rows by 13 by 3, so it's 39 per one, so it's like 117 of those. And then I have one over here that you rarely can see because of where it's at. That's a custom made job, and it goes for like 20 high, I think. I never used the bottom yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 19 high, is that right? No, that can't be right. 20 high, and it's 6 across, so that's another 120 babies. So there's 250 babies. There's this guy here, which holds another, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14, 28. We have a rack over here. We do need to redo the heat tape on, so I didn't use it this last year. That can hold another 14 plus 21. So if I filled all that, plus there's 28 tubs over there. So if I filled all of that with babies, like if we just did that, that would be it. I wouldn't have time or room to do any more. And honestly, I don't know when I'd sleep, but I can do that for 1 year without losing my entire mind. Great question. Any other questions?
No.
All right, guys, that's kind of a day in the life. Let me tell you one thing really quick before we go. As you do all this, especially if you're working a day job, you don't have employees. I don't want employees. This is what I want to do with my time, which is why it's set up the way it is. What's my favorite aspect to do things with? Honestly, my favorite aspect is when I get to play with the venomous snakes or seeing the babies come out of the eggs and raising those brand new babies. That's my favorite thing I do in all of this. And it's also, the great thing is the people you get to meet and hang out with, whether it's, like Anna and JoJo coming down from Patreon up in Nebraska, Caleb or Kurt, or whoever's hanging out around the reptile house. Man, that's... And you get to share these animals and stories. That is my favorite thing. Anything else you want to add, Kurt?
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.